Well, we're so happy to have you guys with us today because we always love a good movie with twists and turns in it, and this is one that we discovered a little bit after it came up. It's so much fun, and people are picking up on it, and it's going to be exciting because you get to unveil something to the world that people really did not expect, right?
Yes. Nice little twist.
Yes, absolutely. And we won't spoil it here, but but when you get a script like this for both of you, you might think, I got to do this one. This will be fun, right?
For me, for sure. I'll let Annie answer first, but
Mhm.
she was on board before me, and I when I got the script, I really wanted to do it. I again love the twist, and I love the script, but I'll let her speak first about the experience, I guess, of
Mhm.
she found it.
I love that it was a two-hander for the most part, and I liked the different kind of obstacle courses, and I felt like it was a insanely new take on somewhat of a an equation that we've seen before, with the fact that it's from a dating site, and these two seemingly don't really know what's going on. And then the twist at the end even got me because I feel like when you watch any kind of thriller, suspense, psychological thriller, all those things, you're trying to get to the answer. You're trying to figure it out, which keeps you active and engaged. And I'd say maybe 60% of the time you're like, nah, I got it. That was that thing that they did, or there was that, like score that they popped up or something. There's like, and then the signs keep continuing to validate that you've discovered the answer. So now you're just waiting to get to your answer. And with this, you don't know. You really don't
Mhm.
know. And I mean, I was floored from the beginning. And after meeting with Mark and him being so hands on and an actor's director, it was a done deal for me. I mean, it's so special where we're still on a group chat together and we're like, we have to
Nice.
do another one, we have to do another one. Like, I did not want to not be with these guys.
Mhm. Yeah, and so Charlie, when you came on, you must have thought, oh, this is going to be a whole lot of fun, right?
I knew it'd be a lot of fun, and I jumped on a moving train. Mark and Annie had already been on board, and luckily I got to be a part of this. But I read the script, loved it, uh, loved the twist, loved all the twists and turns, and I had a blast shooting it. The production was incredible, the sets were amazing, and I had just an absolute blast making this movie. And she's
Yeah.
right, right. We got to do another one. It was too much fun.
hmm and Mark, this is something that's of course, the two main characters we see have to be the right two because it all revolves around the kids. So how did you know that you had the right two in these guys?
You know, I the challenge with casting is, especially when you're working with talent that are established and have a name, you don't get a chance to bring them in and like, hey, let's audition them, let's see how it goes. It's like, like you look at their past work, you see what they can do, and you go, oh yeah,
Mhm.
they've got what it takes to bring this to the role, and then you pray. No, I mean, I was lucky enough that, both of them wanted to meet first before they said yes. They were interested, but I got to sit down with both of them and meet, and I just knew, right? Each of them brought, well, lots of questions, lots of, wanting to know about the characters, why they do what they do, some suggestions along the way. So I knew going into it that these two were committed to the roles and were ready to play. But to be honest, and I've done, I've been on hundreds of sets, and I've seen like I've been with some of you know, the top actors that do not get along with their scene part with their partners, and these two were going to be handcuffed together, throughout the movie. And I thought to myself, I don't like this could go any way, you could think. And I knew on day one we were shooting, and day one with both of them together, and we had sort of done a setup, and we were on to the, okay, moving the camera. They didn't ask to be uncuffed. They didn't ask to like go and then go back to their trailers and stuff like that. Like they were in, and that's how they were throughout the whole piece. And I was always very curious how I was going to portray these two strangers to fall in love with each other. And on like a day two, I was like, I'm not gonna have to worry about any of that. Like, I see chemistry, I see what happens when these two people are put together. So I mean, they knocked it out of the park, and I'm so lucky to have them.
Yeah.
Mark, we're lucky to have you.
Yeah, we all. I mean, we
We were,
all know everybody. It was definitely a dream team, which Annie can definitely speak to as well. But everybody knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Well, it seemed like like I was saying, like sets are not always fun, and many things could go wrong. But this one actually seemed like it was a whole lot of fun. Do you have a particular fond memory from the set? Something that was like, oh, this is going to be a great day.
I think they were all great days, and
Yeah.
I speak to the not wanting to be uncuffed. It was just such a cool experience, and I'm glad that we both really gave over to what that was. And every day was a great day. It was just fun to show up to work, and some sets aren't like that. But I was looking forward to going to work every day, and you're on a good one when that's the case.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I was
Same.
going to just say, I was just
Yeah.
go ahead. I was just going to say that what was interesting about each of the sort of rooms in the maze had their own sort of story and their own kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you sort of everybody got to go from this and then onto that. We actually shot almost, I would say, 75% of it in order, which you never get a
Oh,
chance to do. So we had that gift of that. But for me, I know, Annie, I interrupted you, Annie, but it was too good for me to think about this moment was that, they're actors and they did, what they do. They have to train, they sacrifice, they do all these good things because they're on camera. They want to look great. And they were so they're ripped. They had done the work to prepare for the role. But when it came time to the food scene in the restaurant, they were kids in a candy store, and they're like, "No, we want to eat. We want to eat. We haven't eaten. We want to eat." And it was just so much fun to sort of be on this journey with them and see them, take it as as they were the role of the characters, but also to see them, have fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually what I was gonna say was that kitchen or the dining room, your restaurant scene, whatever, you kind of want to call that room, but the like Mark said, I mean, we were gearing up for one of the scene, the scene where you have to show your body. I don't want to give too much away because I really want people to just watch. Like, what scene are they talking about? And then they'll know. So,
You're gonna say
bodies were somewhat seen, certain body parts. And so we were gearing up for that. And, you can't eat when you want to look a certain way and you got to work out every day. So we're doing that, and it comes with the territory. But yeah, when that food was put on that table, I was so happy to see that food. And, you gotta go for it, get it. And I'm like,
no, and that was
say less. I'm in it.
Such a cool scene. I love the set was so beautiful. The lighting was so perfect in that scene.
Yeah.
And then we both just went for
Andrew Russo also too for that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just the visual, and also property design. He killed it, but I don't know, buds. I mean, just walking into those rooms as us, sometimes you're like, oh, I don't want to see it, let it be a surprise. But even when we would sit in it, I would still look around and be like, oh my God, did you see that? Look at this. It was so much of a surprise. Sorry to cut you off, Charlie. I don't know.
No, you're nailing
it. Yeah, we really, our DP, Andrew Russo, he and I had worked on 3 other movies before. And so we'd already had a sort of a shorthand. But this was an opportunity for both of us to push ourselves, and exactly, totally. And he really pushed, himself to create a look for each of these rooms and each of those things. And I thought, he knocked it out of the park. And Delaware Wagner, who was our production designer, just like with $5, created these sets that we were able to just, sort of immerse ourselves in. So the crew, everybody really just knocked it out of the park. And, as you said, and I'm just so blown away that it turned out so good.
So good.
Well, you've all been involved in interesting projects, and people look up on the screen and they think, That's what I want to do, and make it look a whole lot of fun, even in the days when it's not. But what kind of advice do each of you give to someone that wants to kind of follow in what you're doing and get out there and make some fun art?
Don't do it. Just no.
Yeah.
Charlie, I'm
No,
just kidding. Everybody should dream and do what they want to do. Charlie, go first though.
No, I was just going to say, but that's kind of sums it up. Just be proactive and chase it, and just get out there, meet people, do your thing, meet creative people, and the more you work, the more opportunities you have for something like this to happen, where something completely comes together and people love to work together, and a movie just, I knew we had something special while we were filming this. You're on set sometimes, you're like, oh, we're gonna get through this, and then sometimes like, shit, this is really good. Let's really dig in here, and that's what we did on this one. But just get out there and chase it. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, you really got to chase. You got to fight. Like the stamina's got to be top tier, and then you still got to have more in the tank after that. So
Yeah.
E is not, that's probably just bare minimum, I'd say. And work begets work, like Charlie said too. And then every so often, you really do get lucky to work with like a super dope cast and crew where you're like, this is why I love this. Oh my gosh, because sometimes you're just like, I guess I booked another one. Is it an escrow? Did the check clear? And that's just, but I think that's with anything. Not everything is super enjoyable, but overall, you are reminded of why you put that work in, and it's because of projects like these, and also souls like these two men here, and also the rest of the cast and crew that we worked with.
Yeah, I just, I wanted to say that I feel like, you said the work begets work. And then I think for me, you just got to say yes to almost everything, especially in the beginning. I think so many people get precious about what it's supposed to look like, what's supposed to be. And if you start putting yourself out there, getting experience on set, seeing how the other people are doing it, and, watch these two are, they're at another level because they know what they're doing. They've put in the work. They've done all the stuff that the things that maybe like, oh, I don't really want to do this part, but I'm going to do it. It's a great opportunity. Be on set, learn something, and learn the craft. And I think a lot of people forget that, and they want to hurry up and get to the thing. They don't really want to do the work, whatever that is.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you'll probably like this one. So my co-host Drew Pearson, as one of our great Dallas Cowboys, caught the original Hail Mary, went in the Hall of Fame. We're super proud of him. So we love to
What?
ask people, yeah, for 12
That's
years
awesome.
now. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And
Unbelievable.
and we love to ask people their Hail Mary moment, which is that moment in your life or career where you just had to go for it and it worked out for you. What do you suppose that was for each of you?
Annie,
Hmm.
Sometimes
please.
we have more than one.
Yeah.
No, I guess even just moving here, and I know that I haven't even, like, something will trump that, at some point, but I think literally just getting in my car, my Infinity, that I was like, I hope it can make it. And then it did. Cut to, I'm like a literal working actor. Like I bought a house now and I still have that car. My friends were like, what are you doing? You've had this car for 10 years, but it was my baby. It was my Hail Mary. It brought me here, from Texas, with just all the stuff that I could stuff in my car. And it didn't let me down. I guess that would be it. I'm sure there's little ones along the way, but a part of me is kind of still like excited about what's the next like massive Hail Mary, that
Mhm.
is going to be the one. It's like, it's so intimidating and scary. Just completely being real, you're just like, oh shit, I don't know. And like, if this falls apart, everybody's gonna know. But there's something that's like, stick me, like, give me the vein. You itch for that feeling too. So but I'm waiting for the next one for sure. Or excited about the
Mhm.
next
No, that's
I love
that's
that.
always the original Hail Mary, is betting on yourself, and that move. I moved from mid Missouri to New York, and
Mm.
uh it was huge. It was huge, but and there was no plan B. I dropped out of school to
one.
do it. So like
Yeah,
there was no
same.
nothing else. And you commit to that, and you commit to yourself and a dream. And that was, I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud, but that was, 26 years ago. that I did that. And I just have zero regrets about it. And along the way, I remember doing an interview once, and it was this interesting question about uh what part did this. I think that the key about the Hail Mary is betting on yourself. And to go back to the other thing, every part is a big break. And I just, that kind of fell out of my mouth when that was posed to me. And it reflect like what Mark was saying, say yes, be proactive, but yeah, bet on yourself. And that's the big Hail Mary in one's life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's so interesting. You just saying the betting on yourself seems to be the thing. And I know, Paul, you're doing that with your book that's coming out, which I'm very, very excited about, and,
congrats. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Thank you.
And I just, for me I was like, just hustling, trying to get acting jobs, couldn't do it. And, I was like, why don't I create my own thing, and I was so naive. I didn't realize like, oh, that's not going to be an easy thing to do. And I did. And we ended up doing the Band and Way we sold it to Sony, and it was a success. And, it was like betting on myself, putting myself out there and saying, look, this is what I want to do. And we did it. And, again, everybody said no. Everybody told us no. Everybody told us no, don't do it. And when you hear that, I think that's the thing. When you hear so many people say, yeah, I don't know, what's plan B or whatever, that's I think the voice inside to hear and go like, oh yeah, I got to keep going. That's it. If everybody else is saying no, that's the thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Well said. And part of that, we talk about that on the show, is that success mindset, that you have to not only get in what you do, but stay in what you do. And it isn't always easy, but is there something that each of you kind of tell yourselves that kind of keeps you on that right path, even when things are up or down?
I think just to keep going, and push through and treat every project like it's your last, and just commit completely, and just keep committing and committing and committing. And that's the best thing I can do for myself. And hopefully that works for other people too.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I feel like I struggled for a long time, attaching myself to what the outcome was going to be, and a result. And so, and I would sort of hold myself back because I couldn't do it to the degree that I would want to. So I would sort of, pull back. And now I just say that you've just got to go for it and just stay out of the results and just put yourself out and just go, yeah, I'm do the best I can. And that's it. And then if people like what I do, great. If they don't, great. Moving on, next thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both of those. And Charlie and I have talked about this a lot, being like former athletes, that athlete mentality of just, all right, like you don't want to be in the gym right now because it's 5 o'clock in the morning. You gotta maybe go to school. We both played in college, and then you gotta come back and do your 2 a day. Or it's just, I'm not getting off the treadmill. I'm not leaving the gym. And I always say leave on a make. Like I can't do anything that fails. And then I'm like, all right, well, I'll just come back tomorrow. Like if I'm said I'm going to do 3 miles, I got to do 4 now. So it's just the constant athlete in me that's just like, you can't settle. You have to push yourself to exhaustion. But I don't know if it's healthy all the way. And I really don't care. No judgment.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, after this, I can't wait to see what each of you have coming up next for us. What do you guys have in the works coming up?
I just finished a movie with a director named Chris Stokes that I've been wanting to work with for a while. I met through Annie, and as a favor to me, she came in and did a few days on that movie, and I'm really excited about that. It's called Snatched. We just finished it, and now I'm off to a foreign land to shoot a movie that I'm actually exec producing. That I found a script, developed it, and I'm excited about it. We're casting right now, and it's exciting and nerve wracking. But I'm off to shoot that in a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's great.
He's being humble, but he's also producing. He's a producer on it, and so he's kind of been in the weeds, but
yeah. Absolutely, but in a good way. It's exciting.
Yeah, for sure. I'm writing and also trying to take a like, after this experience with Mark, I want to direct so bad, like so much more than I've ever wanted to. And Charlie knows I talk about it all the freaking time. And right too, it's what Mark said, just create your own, like, I need to do this for myself too, because you can find yourself really working your ass off, and it's what we do, but sometimes it does still feel like you're waiting. And we've all got our own really interesting stories and takes and perspectives on the vision, on art. And so that's really my it's nothing, it's not super tangible, but I think that's just really the next lane and avenue that I'm going into. So
that's nice.
Yeah. Mark?
Yeah, I'm doing we're casting, we're in the middle of a casting. We have one lead and we're looking for another, finishing up financing for an edgy romantic comedy. We're shooting in Greece probably in April. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a reason to go to. Have you been to Greece?
Not yet. No, I can't wait.
Oh my god, that's
nice.
so fun.
Yeah.
I need to see photos on your story or put them in the group chat. You better not disappoint.
I will.
Okay, we got to live through you.
That's beautiful. Well, I'm so happy for each of you. Thank you all for being with us today and for giving us such a fun and unexpected movie. And look forward to talking to each of you again sometime soon.
Absolute
Sure.
pleasure.
We'll be doing soulmates too.
Yeah,
exactly.
Thank you.
Look forward to your book,
Mark.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right, I'll see you guys soon.
Exciting. All right, thanks,
Yeah.
Paul.
Wow.
Bye,
Take care.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.